So with My Hero Academia taking a 2 week hiatus, we're not getting another chapter for 2 weeks. I want to talk about something that we all got out of this last chapter, and that is, could Shigaraki be breaking away from All for One? I think that personally he is starting to, go down his own path, and maybe All for One might be for it. He might not be for it. But we gotta understand that Shigaraki's becoming his own man. But before we get into this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with anybody that loves anime, gaming, and wrestling, because I'm having a good time talking about these theories when it comes down to anime and stuff. So let's talk about All for One. We all know All for One, Darth Vader mask looking ass, and when he takes it off, he looks like a thumb. He is, I wouldn't say he's the main antagonist of My Hero Academia. We could say if they had a prequel and they did like a story for All Might growing up, then yeah, he would be the main antagonist for that one, because he is the reason why All for One had to retire, because he's the one that landed the fatal blow on All Might. The one thing we do gotta understand is how scary this guy can be, because All for One pretty much makes everybody shit the bed. Just the thought of him really does have people's skin crawling due to the fact that he's a very, 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 very powerful villain. Mind you, he's killed all the past All for One, One for All users, even Nana Shimori, who is Shigaraki's grandmother, who Shigaraki does not know nothing about, and also, like I said, landed the fatal blow on All Might to the point where All Might had to retire. Now, the one thing that we can say about Mr. All for One is the fact that he has been defeated. He has been defeated by All Might, and now he's sitting in Tartarus. But the one thing that he wanted the most is that he wanted Shigaraki to either keep his legacy going on, or maybe, just maybe, be his vessel. Because for some reason, I have this theory that he's going to pull an Orochimaru, because we all knew in Naruto, Orochimaru wanted to take Sasuke's body. He wanted to transfer his body because his body was just not up to par anymore. At the beginning of the series in Naruto, when he fought the Hokage, his arms, all that happened to him. So with that happening to him, he decided that he wanted to take Sasuke's body. So this could be that type of thing going on here. We know that All for One was, the leader of the League of Villains, or was he the leader of the League of Villains? I never really got that vibe from him. I didn't think he had underlings. He just was rolling by himself. It only was, it was him and Dr. Ujiko. That was it. And of course the Nomu, but that's not what Shigaraki's, whole game plan is from here on out. He might just be with the Nomu, because at least the Nomu aren't gonna have, ulterior motives. And just like how, Dabi, once he learns about Dabi and how he has, the will of Stain, he's gonna be really upset with Dabi on that one. So we just have to wait and see until this whole arc is done, because they're still in the middle of a huge big fight with Shigaraki. Because remember, Shigaraki just came out of that test tube with all the power. I wouldn't say every power known imaginable, but powers that that would serve him well to defend himself and fight up against all the other heroes and or villains who want to turn against him. Now, back to All for One. My thing about All for One is what he has planned for Shigaraki, and like I said, he might want to take his body, or matter of fact, he maybe wants Shigaraki to walk in his footsteps, or maybe he just wants Shigaraki to take All Might's quirk, or the quirk known as One for All, and give it to All for One. Because also we gotta remember that One for All is his brother's quirk, and he didn't know that his brother had a quirk until he gave him a quirk. We all found out that he has this quote-unquote useless quirk where it stockpiles other quirks on top of it, which if you don't know, it's pretty much those like piling up stuff. So like you got a pile of clothes and the pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what his brother could do. His brother could take other people's quirks and pile it on, so he can be the ultimate hero if he wanted to be. So that's what All for One wants, or that's what Shigaraki wants. Shigaraki wants to take that quirk and make it his own, so he can stockpile quirks. So say that if he does get a hold of Deku and gets the power from Deku, it's all hell on earth, because everybody on that battlefield can get their quirk taken away from them by Shigaraki, and Shigaraki would probably be pretty much God at this point. I mean, he is pretty much God at this point right now because his corks has been all turned off due to a Eraserhead. But the fact of the matter is that he is still, putting up a fight. It's beyond me, man. It's like it's amazing to see what he can do. Now, see with Shigaraki though, he has a different, agenda going. Like I said, one for all for one. All for one wants things to go a different way. I think he just wants to enslave people, honestly. He just wants power and fear. Shigaraki wants just to destroy everything. He wants chaos. He wants nothing but just everything to burn, turn to ashes, turn to dust. He just wants to see the world burn. So he doesn't really have a distinct motive besides he don't want to be like his master. And with his, one of his bodyguards being locked up in Tartarus too, and coming to find out is one of the the teachers of high school. Dang, I forgot the high school's name. Shit, it's been so long since they've been to school that you kind of forget the name. But when you come to find out that it's Aizawa's best friend from high school, you kind of feel bad that Aizawa has to fight up against one of his own friends, but that's not one of the main reasons why that he has to do that, because come to find out, he was turned into a very high-end Nomu, a very special type of Nomu. But the thing about Shigaraki is this. Shigaraki does not want to be like all for one, and he doesn't want to be like All Might neither, because I remember when he was a kid, he wanted to be a hero. So maybe, just maybe, you might see Shigaraki turn the other cheek later on down the series. It might be last minute. You might see Deku and Shigaraki team up to fight against All for One, and I know it's a stretch. It might not happen, but it might, because All for One is a selfish human being, and I don't think he really cares for Shigaraki like that. He makes it seem like it, but he doesn't. Maybe, like I said, he might take over his body, or he just might take all the quirks that he has, that Shigaraki has, so that he can become one again, and he can become better than what he was before. He might, go back to his old self, to where we actually get to see what his real face looks like, because he looks like a scab from his top lip to the top of his head. See, so it's just like, first of all, how you survive a punch like that? Like, I don't understand how you survive something like that, to be honest with you. But the fact that he is still alive is beyond me. But what do you guys think? Do you think that, these two are going to coexist in the future? Do you think that Shigaraki's going to go down his own path and not really work with his master anymore? Do you think All for One is going to find a way to, take the powers from Shigaraki? We don't know. A lot of stuff's going to happen. And we just got to figure out and see as time goes on and be patient. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for y'all. Peace.